This is the snowy waxcap, found in grassland environments from September to December. The cap is white or off-white in colour, though it does darken slightly to a more grey-brown colour as it matures. It starts out convex in shape, but it flattens out with age, and eventually ends up lower in the centre than on the edges, like this one. The gills are also a snowy white, although they do darken slightly to a more off-white creamy colour, with maybe even a hint of a very light brown. The gills run down the stem, and as you can see, they are widely spaced, definitely not crowded. As is the case with most but not all wax caps, they also have these tiny gill-like structures running at right angles to the main gills. They're a bit like mini gills. The stem is also white, sometimes a little curved, and it goes slightly thinner towards the bottom. There is a slightly bigger one here, much older. You can see it's gone a bit browner. But generally they do tend to be very small, but despite being small, they almost make up for that in their numbers. You can find them in quite big quantities. It's a lovely tasting mushroom, very mushroomy in flavour, but it's probably not one for beginner foragers because there are some toxic mushrooms with whitish caps and white gills. One of the biggest worries and why I'm being so cautious is because of mushrooms called the ivory funnel and the fool's funnel, which grow in very similar environments, as in grassland, to the snowy waxcap. And superficially at least, and at first glance, they do look very similar. However, the key differences are that the gills of the ivory and fool's funnel are much more crowded than the snowy waxcap. They also don't have the mini gills that run across at right angles to the main gills. The cap of the ivory and fool's funnel is also fibrous, whereas the cap of the snowy waxcap is very waxy in terms of feel.